Hello, and welcome back to Diatonic Dissection, where we crack open music to see what makes it tick. I started these videos about a year ago, links are up in the corner, where I foolishly analysed 2 tracks from the incredible Hades soundtrack. However, with both of these tracks being about 9 minutes each, meant that the analysis videos ended up being about 40 to 45 minutes. This is far too much editing work for someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Pair that with working full time and you have a surefire way to give yourself really bad burnout. I haven't been completely inactive though. I've been posting semi-regularly over on TikTok with video game music performances, with each video being a separate instrument, links down below if you want to see it, as well as failing miserably to post over here on YouTube Shorts. Now, with all that admin out of the way, let's get to the subject of today's video, Pokemon Blue/Red. Everybody knows about Pokemon, as it is a cultural phenomenon, but if you've been living under a rock for the last 27 or so years, it was made by Game Freak and released on the Nintendo Game Boy in 1996. It has, as of December 2022, sold over 31 million units. The soundtrack was composed by Junichi Masuda and is iconic, in part because of Pokemon's fame, but it really does pack a punch. The battle music is still terrifying to this day, even as an adult, and God knows how many children have been scarred by it. On the subject of the battle music, I can't guarantee that I'll have it ready anytime soon on guitar because it is obscenely difficult. I am practicing it pretty much every day and I'm making some progress with it, albeit at a glacial pace. Now, with all that aside, and like any good story, let us start at the beginning, and in this case it is the opening fanfare for the game. Just a quick note, I've changed how I'm going to be doing these videos, both in terms of the format and the admin. I've set up a Patreon, www.patreon.com/diatonicdissection, to store all of the relevant documents in one place. It's a couple of dollars a month and you'll have complete access, it helps the channel, etc. And it saves me having to continually answer the emails of people asking for access to the Google folder where I was storing the old documents. I would recommend having the documents so it's easy to follow, but obviously it is not essential. In an effort to 1. Make myself actually practice piano, and 2. Make it more academic, I filmed these parts on both piano and guitar with just the guitar/bass audio on the clip, so you can see how it works on what I can only assume are the 2 main instruments you'd be using. The gear used for this recording and the filming is an ESP H31007B baritone 7-string guitar in standard tuning. Why the Japanese guitar companies have such long model names is completely beyond me. A Dingwall NG3 combustion 6-string bass, a Korg Cross 2 keyboard, a Neural DSP quad cortex was used for all the guitar effects. The drums were done on a Roland 27kV electronic drum set using a pre-made kit from some YouTube channel that I can't find anymore. Very quick note, the glove on my right hand is for a tendon issue. If I don't have the glove, my hand goes completely numb when I play. And all of this was recorded in Reaper. So, let us get started. There are 2 parts to this. Part 1, which plays over the battle between a Jigglypuff and a Snorlax or a Gengar. I'm not entirely sure, but feel free to correct me. And the second part is played over the press start screen when you see either blue or red with a rotating cavalcade of Pokemon cycling past. This video is going to be purely focusing on part 1. Part 2 will be done in the next video, which hopefully should be out in a few days. Part 1 is 200 BPM for the tempo and the key is G minor, but there are a lot of accidentals, so I've slightly tweaked the format of these videos because I will be starting each section with a very quick and cursory analysis of the chords, just so you can see how the whole thing moves on a gross level before we dive into the intricacies of the individual instruments. So, for section A, the chords are predominantly based around the 5th chord, which in this case is a D5 or a D power chord. You'll see that it keeps coming back to that original chord which anchors it and keeps it grounded. Even without the melody present, you can hear it in your head when shown the chords, showing just how tightly interwoven they are. slight quirk of the Pokemon soundtrack is that the main melody is actually in the second channel, not the first. So, for the sake of narrative structure, let's call it, I'll start with melody 2, so the main melody, and then go to melody 1, then the bass, and then the drums. Both melodies in this piece have roughly the same rhythm, and as you saw with the chords, they keep returning to their initial note. Melody 1 has the same rhythm as Melody 2, so there isn't really an awful lot to say about it. For the bass, again, it has the same rhythm, but there isn't as much movement as the entire section comprises of just 4 musical notes. The drum part is a march, so if you are a drummer, get practicing your rolls. Unfortunately, the electronic drums don't really lend themselves to buzz rolls, so for this I've just done them as double strokes. Now, for section B, we have a continuation of the same basic idea of section A, except it ends with a nice, clean resolution, as you'll see here in the chords. Melody 2 is more of the same as it was in section A, same with the rhythms, blah 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 blah. Here is the video. The same again with Melody 1, very similar to section A, just shorter. The bass, again, is very similar, but this time it only has 3 musical notes. And for the drums, more marching, more rolls, keep it tight, that's it. And that's it for this video. I hope that you've enjoyed it and found it edutaining. As I said at the start, if you want the sheet music in whichever format, you'll need to sign up for the Patreon, just $2 currently, so £1.60ish if you're in the UK. Drop a like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, sacrifice a goat to the algorithm gods, all that standard YouTube shtick. And that's it. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.